Alright, so this is today's Daily Gravity, and what we're going to talk about is how I go live. So on one of the weekly calls that we had, I don't know, a few calls back, I said, what is something that you'd like me to show you that's kind of behind the scenes? And they said, I'd like to see what it is that you do to get prepared for your lives. When I go live on TikTok, which you should be doing because it's part of our daily dues, right? Okay, so anyway, what I've got is it's gonna be a little like a tour here, and it's probably gonna be, well, I'm not Steven Spielberg, so just hang with me, get the information, you're gonna do good. Now, what I wanna just show you some of the elements that I have that people really like about my lives. I'm gonna show you my setup, and if you have any questions at the end of this thing, please, you know what to do. Just in the actual community, make a comment, tell me, ask me. So let's go through. I'm just gonna keep it simple here with you. We're gonna go through it. So the first thing that I do before I go live is I make sure that I got something to drink, because sometimes you can get like a little parched. So I'll have something to drink, and then I'm gonna flip around here. I have like some markers here, mainly just to point with, and then I've got like several of these black ones, and I've got them up here on my board too, because I'm always drawing stuff, as you can see. And see, what I do is I put a bunch of stuff up here that I want to talk about, some of the things that I'm always talking about, and you would do the same thing too. I'm always talking about the funnel. I always have up here, like, notice on everything on the board, you probably won't be able to see quite everything too good. There we go. What's the thing that sticks out the most on that board? It's this red deal up here, right? Okay, so it's the same thing with you. You want to have like your website up there, because as I'm talking, I'm always referencing it, right? And then I put video because I want them to go get that free video. So I just talk about some different things on here that I can use to help them get educated about what it is that we do to do this stuff, right? And I'm looking at that. So I used to use this thing, and when I travel, sometimes I do. I'll use this deal here. It just clips on, and I can hook my phone on this, and it wiggles around. Okay? But you'll notice I've got a very high-tech setup here. I've got a cheap extension cord that has a little dual plug USB thing. And this just charges the camera I'm using right now, and it charges this thing. And I use because this deal, okay, I think I've showed this to you before, but this deal here, it just plugs into the bottom of my phone. Okay, let me get this refocused here. It just plugs into the bottom of my phone. We're having some focusing issues. Here, come on, focus on me hand. So this thing will plug into the bottom of my phone, and so when I plug it in here to the phone, okay, and I don't use it all the time. Sometimes I like to use my earbuds, like I got in right now, because then they can hear me a little better. You don't even need them, okay? You don't need this, you don't need the earbuds. And what this thing does, I told you this was going to be a little wild, okay? It's just a wireless thing. This clips on my shirt. I have to set it down because this thing is being silly with its focus. This thing just clips on my shirt. I turn it on, and it's like a mic. I'm just showing you some of the extras. But primarily, in most of the time, I don't use this, and I don't use my earbuds. And by earbuds, I'm talking about my AirPod things, whatever they're called. You don't need that. What you do need is you need a plug-in that goes into your camera, so you have it like that, because you're going to be talking on your camera, okay? You're going to go into your camera here, and what I'll do is I just go in there and I go on live, and I go in here and I click live, and then I've got like, my little subject line thing in there that I'm going to put, and then I put it on live, and I just click go live. And here I am, and see, you can see me in it, obviously, and I can move this around so I can show them the board behind me, right? You'll see me do that, or I'll come over here and I'll turn it this way, because then, I told you this was gonna be crazy. They can see this board, right? So I've got this board over here, which has all of my other stuff on here. I've got like my YouTube, because I want them to see this stuff. I don't point it at it a lot, but they'll see it and they'll go look at my YouTube, because I have videos over there that help them learn about this stuff. And so this board has just what I'm selling, right? It's got like how much I charge. Okay, it's got like, again, it's always got the make once over here. And so I'm just like bouncing around from this board to that board. And I'm just taking my thing here and I'm moving it around, not by much, I just move it here. And I've got this little tripod. Okay, and I've got, this on the back to hold it. It's just a holder there. Okay. And so that's, I'd be standing right there and I just do my live. And then when I'm looking at this thing, I'm obviously always looking at the comments, and then, I'm just standing here talking. I've got that light over there. And if it's really sunny out, I won't, if it's lit up well enough, I don't worry about it. But like I'm gonna, go live in the evening, I gotta have a little light on it. Okay. And then I have this board, as you guys know. And I'll have my little eraser here so I can erase it quickly. It's good to get a big, good eraser like this. And then if they ask me something, I'll literally, be holding this like this, and I'm like, hey guys, and I show them on here, right? So that's like when they ask me a question, because I won't, and again, look what I've got on here. Free training, makeonce.com. Now you don't gotta be the whiteboard person. I'm just showing you what I do, okay? So again, the thing I'm getting at is, I'll be like this. I'll have the phone here and I'll be like, oh, hey, and I'll be showing them this stuff on here, right? And when you go into your TikTok settings, inside of there, you can click down in the little thing down in the corner and you can flip the video so that so they can read everything on the board. You know what I mean? So, that's it, right? And then I just go live. I just stand here. I stand, you can sit. Sometimes I'll sit over here. See, I've got my little bench. Okay, and I'll sit there and explain some of this stuff, and I just have that conversation with them. I'm just having a conversation with them, just like we're doing right now. And you're just answering questions, and that's all I think about. I'm like, and what I'll do is I'll pick like something to lead in with. I'll be like, all right, I'm going to start out just talking about, the model. And then I'm like, okay, if I'm going to talk about the model, what kind of story can I start out with? Like, yeah, the other day, I always do that. Like, you just get real good at, like, once you get yourself kicked into story mode, that's the big thing. You got to, like, almost prompt yourself to get into story mode. So that's what I'll do. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to talk about the model. How can I do this? And I'll be like, well, I could start out saying how I didn't know how to do it at one time. I could talk about somebody maybe that didn't know how to do it, and how we used it and how it changed, making a course real simple for them. And then as I'm doing that, I'm always saying, now, guys, listen, if they're following me on here, we're just standing in front of it, and I'm, back here talking. And I'm like, listen, if you just got on here and you don't know what I'm really talking about, up here, if you go to makeonce.com, and I'll point up here, and sometimes I'll move the thing closer to the board if I want to get in here and really talk about something. But I'm like, go up here, go to my website. I've got a video over there that explains everything I'm doing. You see the stuff on the board? If you like this, I've got it up here in this, and they do. And then what I'll do on my computer is I'll have my system.io pulled up. And I'll go to the stats button where it shows if I have new people opting in, right? Now, I learned this from my girlfriend. She taught me this. She goes, I will pull up my computer. And I just literally learned this, like, I think this week or last week. And she goes, yeah, I'll pull up my stats on my funnel, and as I'm talking on the live, whatever I'm talking about, every once in a while I'll go over and I'll refresh the stats. I'll come down here and refresh the stats and see, did I get more opt-ins? And if I didn't, then I know that I need to switch what I'm talking about, or I need to re-engage them with a story, or I need to get, switch it up so I can get them going. And then if I see I'm starting to get a bunch of opt-ins, then I know that I'm onto something. Okay? So anyway, hopefully that helps you. It's nothing more than that. I'm literally thinking about when I go to stand in front of this thing, I'm literally just thinking to myself, all right, we're gonna jump out into the ocean here, and there's all these little people out there, kind of thing, and I need something to start in with. And then I'm always asking them, what questions do you guys have about this? Is there something about this you have questions about? Where are you stuck at? And if nothing's really going on, I'll be like, so you guys just, no questions, huh? You don't, and then I'll be like, well, is anybody in here, wanting to do this stuff? Is anybody interested in this stuff? And then if still nothing, I'll be like, sometimes what I'll do is I'll jump off of live and jump right back on, and for some reason it'll kick it out into another algorithm, and I'll have more people on, okay? But sometimes I tell them, put an X down in the chat, if you feel this way, just to get them engaged and kind of moving. And then once they get going, they'll kind of get going. And if somebody comes on that's being a jackwagon, I don't even say nothing to them. I just block them right away. Because if you start engaging with the jackwagons, and every once in a while you'll get one, if you engage with them, the TikToks are gonna think that you want more people like those people because they're engaging. So you just wanna go down there, just block them. The first couple will probably derail you a little bit, like you'll be in it and they'll you're not used to being like insulted or something. It's never bad, and it's always funny to me, and I'm like, I feel sorry for them that they go on to just random strangers and be little jackasses about things, but that's neither here nor there. Just be the bigger person, and sometimes you want to just handle it, but it's better to just, silence is a deadly weapon. So the thing is just block them, move on, and just sometimes you gotta, if you're blocking them, sometimes it's like, yeah, I had to do a little house cleaning, I just had to do a little housekeeping, or had to do a little, getting rid of some, you'll be funny about it, hopefully. But have fun. I want you to think about, like, you're kind of going out, you're always talking to one person, and you're just going out there onto a stage in front of a bunch of people that will have the problem that you can solve, hopefully. And as you keep talking about your thing, the keywords that you're spewing out of your mouth about what it is you're talking about, it'll start going out there, the thing will start going out there and looking for more people that are talking like that are, they're trying to match people up. That's what the algorithm's doing, is trying to get likes to match up out there. So if I'm talking about funnels, or if I'm talking about, ads, or, any of these different things, it's listening to me in live time, and then it's going and finding people that are also looking for that, so it can bring us together, because that's what its job is. So anyhow, and I switch the board up as much as I can. I'll run this for a good week or two, maybe, and I'll start just, it's usually when I just get tired of it, or I'm like, I want a different background, but it's always the same kind of shit. You know what I mean? You've seen it. You probably are here because you were watching this board, So anyhow, the big thing is just going live every day, being consistent with it. It's hard sometimes because it's uncomfortable, number one. It's just not normal, so it feels uncomfortable, but that's okay. We're gonna get out of our comfort zones, that. And then if you think about, I'm just trying to help somebody, and you're just trying to share some stories and just get on there and have fun with it, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're introverted, and it doesn't matter if you're extroverted. Just do it. Either way. For God's sakes, you're by yourself in your little area. I'm gonna be going live from God knows where when we're traveling all the time. Hell, I might be sitting on the back of a boat. I might be sitting in a freaking cave. Who knows? I don't know. It's gonna be exciting though. But anyhow, hopefully this helps you. But yeah, see, I've got this amazing hardcore setup here. I know this, $4 bazillion to come up with this. This is like just a basic old extension cord, okay? I've just got a basic extension cord that runs up to here, plugs into that. I've got my little eraser, got my little board here, And you don't always need a board. Hell, you don't need a board at all. Got my calculator. Sometimes I want to do math. God, you don't ever want to do math on live video. And I just got some markers here. I've got my Walmart, you know, Target lights here. Just you can whatever, you know, something to have a little fun. Okay, but that's it. And then you're just constantly making call to actions. Okay. So if you got more questions, let me know. You got to get to 1,000 on TikTok, 1,000 subscribers so that you can do it, okay? But this is today's Daily Gravity. What other questions do you have? Tell me down below so I can do a Daily Gravity over them, okay? Get on those weekly Q&A calls. Make it happen. You can do it. If you show up, it'll help you a lot, I promise, okay? Just get on there. We work together. Teamwork makes the dream work, and we can get this stuff done, all right? So I believe in you. Start doing it. Knock out those daily activities. You can do this. I believe in you. I'm telling you, if anybody believes in you, I do. And I know that sometimes it's what you need. And it's here. Okay? So go do it. And tell us about it in the group. How'd your lives go? What did you figure out about them? Where are you finding things that work better? Maybe maybe you're going to help us and show us something. I'm open ears and ready for it. So all right, I'll see you tomorrow.